Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Jiten Vasist from Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics, JP University of Information Technology, Himachal Pradesh. Today I am going to talk about components and architecture of cell membrane. This module is placed in paper Membrane Biophysics. In current module, I am going to tell you the importance and necessity of plasma membrane as cell boundaries. I'm then going to discuss the basic components like proteins, lipids of plasma membrane in detail and their proportions in different types of membrane in different cells. Later section of this module focuses on different structural features of plasma membrane. And in the end, I will give you an overview of functionality of plasma membrane and its facts in cellular physiology. Prime focus of this module is mainly on plasma membrane. However, majority of the concepts discussed in later sections are also applicable to some extent to the membranes of various cell organelles. So therefore, in view of this, following learning objectives are prepared for this module. Number 1, introduction and importance of cell membrane. Number 2, structural component of cell membrane. Number 3, the structural features of cell membrane. And lastly, the functional role of cell membrane. Now, coming to the first part, that is, what is membrane? You can define a membrane in such a way that a membrane can be described as boundary or outer layer which surrounds a cell and define a specific region from rest of the surrounding environment. It is not only gives a definite boundary but also controls the composition of the enclosed space. A typical membrane has four distinct functions. Number 1, it allows the transport of raw material into the cell. Number 2, membrane allows the transport of manufactured products and waste out of the cell. Number 3, membrane prevents the entry of unwanted material into the cell. And number 4, membrane also prevent the leakage of essential matter out of the cell. In a living system, each cell is covered by a 5 to 10 nanometer wide layer of phospholipids and proteins, which encloses whole cell and protects cell cytoplasm from extracellular environment, and this biological membrane is cell membrane or commonly known as plasma membrane. Cellular functions depends on watery environment like the one that is found on the inside of the cell. In order to maintain their integrity, cells needs to be surrounded by an environment through which water cannot flow. A membrane composed of fatty molecules serve this purpose. This figure shows that a cell has a definite boundary which we call the cell membrane. And if you enlarge the cell membrane, what you will find that the cell membrane is composed of a lipid part as well as the protein part. The lipid part is basically composed of phospholipids which are seen in the box of the cell in a blue shape. In addition to the plasma membrane, a eukaryotic cell contains various intracellular organelles like Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. And these organelles are surrounded by their intracellular membranes. These membrane coverings maintain the characteristic differences between the cell cytoplasm and the contents of each respective organelles. So it can make a definite layer in between the organelle and the cytoplasm. Another property of a cell membrane is its semi-permeable nature, through which a selective transport and a retention of cell nutrient takes place, and a toxic or unwanted substances cannot pass into the cell. Now coming to the basic components of cell membrane. Three biomolecules, namely lipid, protein, and carbohydrates, are the main components of a plasma membrane. Their compositions and relative proportions in membranes may vary in different types of cells. Lipids are present ubiquitously in differently forms like phospholipids, cholesterol, sphingolipids, etc. in cell membranes and constitutes approximately 50% of the mass of most cell membranes. Now coming to the proteins, proteins may range from 20 to 70% of a total mass of a particular membrane. The percentage of carbohydrate in cell membrane is approximately 5 to 8%, and these are generally associated with either to lipids in the form of glycolipids of various classes or with proteins as a conjugate of glycoproteins. A common feature of all biomembranes is the presence of a bilayer of phospholipids and some common proteins. However, there is a presence of several unique proteins in certain cellular membranes for distinct functions. The variation in proportion of each component like carbohydrate, lipid, and proteins is provided for the special requirement of the special cell. For example, in general, plasma membranes have approximately equal proportion of lipids and proteins, which are around 45 to 50%, while mitochondrial inner membrane contains approximately 75% of the proteins, and lipid content is coming down to the 24%, which are required for electron transport chain. While in case of myelin sheath, which is present in axons, what you will find that lipid content increases up to the level of 80% and proteins down by 18%, and the carbohydrate moieties are coming as a 3% of the total weight of the membrane. Lipids are the main constituents of cell membrane. If you see, lipids are present ubiquitously in different forms of cell membrane and constitutes approximately 50% of the mass of most of the cell membrane. Lipids of membrane are further divided into cholesterol, sphingolipids, glycolipids, and sterols. In general, glycerophospholipids and sphingolipids constitute the large proportion of lipids in all biological membrane. In 1924, using electron microscope, two Dutch physicians, Gorter and Gödel, found that cell membrane was composed primarily of phospholipids. Now coming to phospholipid. With few exceptions, the most abundant lipid components present in membrane are phospholipids. Phospholipid molecules are basically composed of a glycerol backbone at which two fatty acid chains and a phosphate group are attached. Fatty acids are attached to the first and second carbon, while the phosphate group is attached to the third carbon of glycerol backbone. The fatty acyl side chains may be saturated or may contain one or more double bonds. The phosphate group and glycerol backbones make the head portion of phospholipids as hydrophilic, whereas the fatty acid tail have a nature of hydrophobicity. Therefore, phospholipids are considered as amphipathic molecules with a polar head of phosphate group and the hydrophobic tail of acyl chains. The phosphate group of phospholipid can be attached to variable functional group. If you see that the R group can be changed and it gives rise to different types of phospholipids. Naming of phospholipids is based upon by naming the derivatives for the head group alcohol, that's R, with phosphatidyl as prefix. For example, phosphatidyl ethanolamine, phosphatidyl serine, and phosphatidylcholine are common membrane phospholipids having ethanolamine, serine, and choline as a head group respectively. In general, majority of phospholipids are neutral in nature. For example, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and sphingomyelins. However, several phospholipids like phosphatidylinositol and phosphatidylserine show acidic nature with negative charges. Phosphatidylinositol are generally present on the cytoplasmic leaflet of membrane and get phosphorylated into phosphatidyl phosphate, bisphosphate, and triphosphate. These phospholipids are important for regulating cell growth and their proliferation and apoptosis. Now, if you want to see the orientation of phospholipids in water, what you will find that when phospholipids are placed in aqueous solution, they will self-assemble in two forms. One is the micelles and second the bilayer structures that exclude water molecules from the hydrophobic tail while keeping the hydrophilic head in contact with the aqueous solution. Now, the same phenomenon is observed when phospholipids are assembled in plasma membrane as a bilayer. The same phenomenon is observed in cell membrane where water content is present inside and outside of the cell and phospholipids are packed as bilayer conformations. The inside shows the cytoplasmic phases and outside shows the extracellular phases, which are basically coming as a water solvent molecules. The partially hydrophilic, partially hydrophobic phospholipids simultaneously forms a bilayer. Closed lipid bilayer membranes are energetically favorable in which fatty acids are on the inside and the phosphate groups are on the both the surfaces of the bilayer. Moreover, the cylindrical shape of phospholipids allow phospholipids to align side by side to form a broad sheet of membrane, which is after some time becomes circular. Plasma membrane has a fluidic nature and the molecules are always moving. It has about the same consistency as of olive oil. The hydrogen bonding of water holds the two layers together. Individual phospholipids and unanchored proteins can move through the membrane and they show continuous movement. Saturated fatty acids make the membrane less fluidic than the unsaturated fatty acids, as the saturated fatty acid does not contain any double bond or any kink is produced by saturated fatty acids. Similarly, what you will find that the warm temperatures make the membrane more fluidic than the cold temperature, and the fluidity of the membrane can be regulated with the help of cholesterol molecule, which is also a lipid molecule. Another class of phospholipids found mainly in plasma membranes are sphingolipids, which lack the basic glycerol backbone and have a sphingosine backbone fatty acid and a head group of sphingolipid. If you see the figure, what you will find, the basic backbone is changed into sphingosine backbone instead of glycerol backbone as we have discussed in previous times. In sphingolipids, the terminal hydroxyl group of sphingosine is esterified to phosphocholine, so its hydrophilic head is similar to that of phosphatidylcholine. Ceramide is the most basic sphingolipid which only have a hydrogen at R group and a amide linked fatty acid. Sphingomyelin is the most common sphingolipid which is widely present in the myelinate sheet of neurons. Glycolipids are the subgroup of sphingolipids and they present approximately 2% of total lipid content of plasma membranes. These sugar-containing lipids have a sphingosine-derived backbone and mono or oligosaccharide bound to the CNN third position For example, glucosyl cerebroside is a glycolipid abundant in myelin sheet, and it consists of ceramide and oleic acid linked to a single glucose residue. These are generally found at the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane, and their carbohydrate moieties are exposed on cell surfaces. Another important class of membrane lipids are the sterols and their derivatives. These sterols are present in the cell membrane for important hormones and signaling molecules. In general, all steroids contain four hydrocarbon rings A, B, C, and D as seen in figures with the carbon numbered. Cholesterol is the most abundant steroidal structure present in plasma membranes. Cholesterol accounts for near about 30% of the total lipid content in animal cells. However, cholesterol is generally absent in prokaryotic membranes of bacteria or archaea, and a very negligible amount of cholesterol is present in mitochondrial membranes. Cholesterol has the entire hydrophobic steroid structure but also has a hydroxyl substituent on one ring, which makes this molecule as an amphipathic molecule. Cholesterol maintains the rigidity and stability of the membrane. Now, coming to a different component of plasma membrane, that is the membrane proteins. Proteins also contributed to the major proportion, approximately 50% of the total mass of a typical plasma membrane, and these proteins participated in several biological activities like transport, enzymatic actions, communication, etc. Structurally, membrane proteins may be present as single protein or as a multimeric protein subunits. They may also get conjugated with carbohydrates and lipids and present in the form of glycoproteins and lipoproteins respectively. Lipid moiety of a lipoprotein may have direct interaction with the lipid bilayer or through integral membrane proteins. Now, membrane proteins can be classified according to the location. Membrane proteins are characterized as integral membrane proteins and peripheral membrane proteins on the basis of their location in membrane. The proteins which are present in between the phospholipid bilayer and its major part penetrate or span the bilayer are termed as integral membrane proteins or transmembrane proteins. The membrane spanning portion of transmembrane proteins are usually composed of hydrophobic amino acids which make alpha helical secondary structures, except bacterial porins. In bacterial porins, beta sheet structures are predominant in spite of alpha helical structures. In general, these proteins are tightly bound to the membrane through hydrophobic interactions, and their terminal portion may expose on one or both sides of the membrane. The proteins present on the outside the membrane are considered as peripheral membrane proteins. These proteins do not interact with the hydrophobic core of the bilayer and are loosely associated with the membrane through non-covalent interactions, generally ionic bonds with the polar head groups of the phospholipids. Therefore, it is easier to isolate peripheral membrane proteins and can be done by using the solution of high ionic strength or high salt concentration on membrane. Proteins present in membrane are responsible for vital functions of cell, and therefore these proteins may also be differentiated on the basis of their function. If you see, the transport or channel proteins are one of the class which can be seen as a transporter. Gaseous molecule, for example oxygen and carbon dioxide and a small hydrophobic molecule can pass through lipid bilayer, but water and other hydrophilic nutrients generally cannot pass through lipid bilayer or at a very slow pace. The movement of the hydrophilic molecules is done by transport proteins which are generally embedded in the membrane. These transport proteins show specificity for selection of the molecule to be transported. In several occasions, these proteins transport nutrients against their concentration gradient, and the energy of ATP is utilized to catalyze passes. The ability to maintain concentration gradient and sometimes move material against them is vital to cell health and maintenance. Thanks to membrane barriers and transport proteins, the cell can accumulate nutrients in higher concentration than exist in the environment and conversely dispose of waste products. Carrier proteins are generally present inside the membrane with some parts surface exposed, and building site on the protein surface grabs certain molecules and pulls them into the cell, for example gated channels. The cell membrane also contains some specific protein which act as a sensor or a molecular trigger for external signals and allows the cell to produce response due to change in external environment of the cell. These protein sensors are also termed as cell protein receptors. Their main function is to transform information rather than to transport of molecule or ion across the membrane. For example, release of hormones due to the receptor proteins. Now, several proteins are present as glycoproteins, where attached carbohydrates are localized on the outer exoplasmic membrane face of eukaryotic cell. These proteins act as a ID tags for identification of specific cell by the immune system of the body, and these molecules sometimes referred as a cell recognition proteins. Moreover, several proteins present on the membrane surface show enzymatic activities and carry out metabolic reactions. Now, coming to the structure of cell membrane. For structure of cell membrane, the fluid mosaic model is the best suited model which elucidates the structure of a plasma membrane. This model was proposed by S. J. Singer and G. L. Nicholson in 1972. This model states that the cell membrane exists as fluid mosaic, two-dimensional in nature, of freely diffusing lipids with embedded proteins. Cell membranes have a common sheet-like structure consisting mainly of lipids and proteins in the ratio of 1:4 to 4:1. The proteins and lipids are held together by non-covalent interactions. Membranes also contain carbohydrates linked to the lipids and proteins. Cell membranes are fluid structure, asymmetric and dynamic in nature. The lipid molecules are arranged as continuous double layers. The membrane lipids are amphipathic molecules having both hydrophilic and hydrophobic moiety. The hydrophilic heads are oriented towards the aqueous solvent, while the long non-polar hydrocarbon chains are sequestered in the interior of the membrane. This lipid bilayer provides the fluidity to the membrane and acts as a barrier to the flow of polar molecules. The lipid molecules can diffuse rapidly in the plane of the membrane, whereas the flip-flop movement, that is, movement across the membrane, occurs rarely. The protein molecules span the lipid bilayer and are free to diffuse laterally but not across the membrane. They serve as channel pump receptors, enzymes mediating the various biological functions of the membrane. Some proteins are found embedded in the lipid bilayer, enabling cell to interact with its surrounding. Now, if you see in the figure which shows the makeup of a eukaryotic cell membrane, it shows that the phospholipids and the glycolipid molecules are arranged as bilayer, regarded as two-dimensional solutions, dynamic in nature. The polar heads are oriented towards the aqueous environment, while the long hydrocarbon chains face inwards. The lipid bilayer acts as a permeability barrier and as a solvent for the membrane proteins. Membrane lipids interact specifically with the specific protein which is essential for their function. For the membrane to exist as a fluid structure, the right ratio of the saturated to unsaturated fatty acids is also important. The lipid molecules show free lateral diffusion, whereas the flip-flop movement, that is transfer movement, occurs once in a several hours. The flip-flop requires the polar head group to pass through the hydrocarbon core of the bilayer, thus the process is extremely rare. The protein's molecules shows lateral diffusion but no transfer movement. However, the enzyme that facilitates the flip-flop process is referred as flippase enzyme. You will find that lower portion towards the cytoplasmic it is also associated with filaments of cytoskeletal systems which also sometimes provide the stability to the membrane. Now, coming towards the function of the plasma membrane. One of the important and crucial functions of the plasma membrane is to form a physical barrier between the cytoplasm and the external surrounding. This makes the compartmentalization which is happening only because of the plasma membrane. This enables the smooth functioning of the various activities going inside the cell without the interference of the external environment. They provide the strength and scaffold to the cell for regulating biological activities. This also holds true for the membrane enclosing the intracellular organelles, that is to create a niche for proper functioning of the diverse organelles which exist as isolated identities in the cell. The plasma membrane is semi-permeable and thus allows the passage of selective molecules but not others across the membrane, and this kind of phenomenon we generally call as the selective permeability or the semi-permeability of the membrane. Moreover, the plasma membrane allows exchange of ions and molecules across the membrane to maintain proper ionic composition and osmotic pressure of the cytosol. Transporting nutrients into the cell and other metabolic waste out of the cell help in proper functioning of the cell. Two transport mechanisms exist for transportation of molecules across the membrane, which are basically passive and active transport systems. In passive transport, the membrane allows the movement of substance from one side to the membrane to the another, generally by diffusion, facilitated diffusion and filtration, wherein no energy is required and is based on the difference on the concentration between the two areas, that is down the concentration gradient. The water molecule travel across the membrane by osmosis, whereas active transport is energy driven process which uses energy released by ATP hydrolysis and allows the passage of substance against the concentration gradient. The membrane also maintains the electrochemical gradient. The plasma membrane also contains specific transport proteins that allows the passage of selective small molecules. Membrane possesses specific receptors that combine with specific signaling molecules like hormones, growth factors, neurotransmitters, and other external stimuli, leading to various cellular responses which are critical for cell development and functioning of the cell. And this comes as a function of signal transduction by cell membrane. And this is how a cell responds to its external environment. The plasma membrane of multicellular organisms mediates the communication with the neighboring cells and allows the exchange of metabolites and information with other cells. Moreover, plasma membrane includes certain proteins and enzymes that are involved in some of the metabolic processes of the cell. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. If you see that a membrane can be described as the boundary which define specific region from rest of the surrounding environment. It is not only gives a definite boundary but also controls the composition of enclosed space. Biological membranes are basically composed of phospholipids, protein, cholesterol and carbohydrate, and they all makes a layer which we call as a biological membrane. In phospholipid bilayer, the long fatty acid side chains forms hydrophobic core and polar phosphate make a hydrophilic head. Therefore, all cellular membranes line closed compartments and have a cytosolic and exoplasmic phase. Presence of specific integral and peripheral membrane proteins is required to carry out distinct functions. Membrane proteins are required for nutrient transport, waste elimination, and maintain the proper intracellular ionic composition. These proteins also required for cell-to-cell communication, critical for proper functioning of multicellular tissues. According to the fluid mosaic model, the membrane is viewed as a two-dimensional mosaic of phospholipid and protein molecules.